That one wasn't tight. Wait, there's not even a lug nut on there. What the hell, man? There it goes. All right, so the 4Runner Limiteds had this special suspension. I don't know how you would say it, but it's X-REAS. X-REAS? I don't know. It's the worst acronym ever, but it's basically hydraulically connected shocks. Basically, it's got like this brake line that connects the shocks together. If you have this system, you're basically limited to either a spacer kit like this, or you have to completely replace the entire system. So in this case, we're gonna keep this X-REAS and just put a lift kit on, spacers. It's gonna work great, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing you gotta do, we got work to do, dog. We got work to do. She's gonna be distracting the entire time. Okay, so all of this has to come out of the way to get this strut out. So I'm gonna start with the sway bar end link. If you're unfortunate enough to be working on a car from up north, all of these bolts are probably gonna be rusted out. So I wish you luck. Ooh, did you hear that crunch? That was my shoulder. That out of there. At this point, it is worth mentioning, this is an 08, so it's not quite 20 years old, but I'm noticing that a lot of the bushings and Zelda, you gotta shut the fuck up. I'm trying to film. So this is our sway bar end link. It's split. We got axle boot is split as well. And a lot of the bushings are cracked. Now, if you're watching this video, you might want to go ahead and plan on buying these things before you start doing the job, because once you're in there, it's easier to do it while it's apart. So it's just something to look out for when you're doing this job. This little clip is just like the ones on the Ridgeline. You just pull it out and then you can pull it off like this. It's a little unclipper deal. Same thing on this, we're gonna hit it with a hammer. Take that off. We're gonna start sledgehammering right here. Heh, one hit. I'm like an 80s band. There it is. Just gotta get a little bit more of a swing is all. What is going on? Look, it's lit up, so we've got power, but I need a new impact.
Spending my Friday evening videotaping this freaking 4Runner for you.
It's your 4Runner.
Yeah, this video is for you.
Yeah, but it's, well, I mean, you're getting a free lift kit out of it, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, okay, so all the other people that got free lift kits had to put in the work to film too?
I mean, shut up. Dang, you got me. Couldn't think of a comeback. I'll think of a comeback later on and you'll be sorry. This is in the way as well, so this whole thing has to get moved out of here. Take that off. Don't need that where we're going. Okay, at this point, we're ready to start taking the strut out. So we're gonna go ahead and drop it back down. Get that. She heavy, you know? She's a thick girl. All right, so a couple things need to happen right now. This needs to have a little bit more downward motion, and this needs to come out. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen up the bolt on the back here, this one here. It's an old mechanic's trick. Put two wrenches together like that and gives you a little more leverage. So just turn that one. It's actually not that bad. Coming off. There you go. And then this same thing up here, which I could just hit that with an impact, I guess, but there we go. There it goes. It's a little bit hazardous right here. You gotta not laugh. All right, so rather than letting this fall like I just did, what you're gonna wanna do is get a couple of bungee cords or a ratchet strap if that's what you have. And we're gonna hold this up so that the weight of this is not hanging from the brake lines. Man, this sucker's heavy. Brake dust thingy is sharp. Okay, is that helping? No.
So.
That didn't do jack fucking shit.
Why
Just turn it off.
It not hazardous?
Turn it off. All right, so we're gonna support this suspension arm with a ratchet strap. So we're gonna put a ratchet strap in there to kind of hold it up while we do our thing here. And that way, semi-safe. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna knock that. I gotta get the tools. We're gonna sledgehammer some stuff now. We're gonna sledgehammer this bolt out. What you wanna do is put your fingers right in there. So when you miss, you go ahead and smash those and end up in the emergency room. So the next thing we're gonna do is hit this. We're gonna release this upper ball joint. So it should just take a couple of hits. Or a bunch of hits. I'm right-handed, so I gotta come around this side. That's all I needed was a good swing. Same thing for the tie rod end. I'm gonna just get up under here and do it. That's it.
That's terrible.
Welcome to the world of being a mechanic. Everything's terrible. Everything hurts. Everything's either too cold or too hot. Fingers pinched, blood blisters. It's always something. Okay, there it goes. Dude, that's hard. Oh, I'm doing it on the wrong end. What an idiot. All right, we'll fix that in post. Okay, now, releasing this end. That'll be easier. Not quite. A couple more turns. There it goes. There we go. See how that's free now? All right. You gotta loosen the nuts at the top. This should work. I don't know why the hell they put those on so tight. Man, ridiculous. Just talk amongst yourselves. Oh. It's only moving it like that much at a time, so. I can get it with my fingers now. Oh my God. We got a whole beer left. That's how you do. So much faster. Okay, now since this has the X-REAS suspension, you can't actually take the strut out. You have to put the spacer on with the strut in the car. So it's kind of a pain in the neck, but basically at this point you can just pop it out of its home. And then that actually is in the way now. Tighten that up just a tad, just a touch so that it stays up better. There we go. There it goes. Okay. Jeez. All right, so now I know what you're thinking, and you're gonna tell me that there's no way you're getting 3 inches of lift out of a 1.5 inch spacer. But what you gotta remember is this strut is not actually connected to the wheel like a McPherson strut. This is connected to a lower arm. So the distance of the lift coming down is magnified by the geometry of the arm. So basically you're lifting from this point here and not this point here. So the pivot point's here, the wheel's here, 1.5 inches in the middle equals 3 inches on the lift. So there's a little bit of geometry to it, but it's not that difficult when you think about it that way. So that's why you have a 1.5 inch spacer for a 3-inch lift. Clear as mud. Can't get that back one. Gotta do it by hand every time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not gonna get a torque wrench in there, but these are supposed to be torqued to about 35 foot-pounds. So using your highly calibrated hand and get them pretty tight. 35 foot-pounds is what they're supposed to be, but just do the best you can on that. All right, from here, what we gotta do is we gotta turn this. You see how they're not lined up anymore? So we're gonna take a big-ass screwdriver like this, and we're gonna turn it. All right, so we're just gonna turn this just a little bit, like that, should be good. Wow, look at that.
We're learning.
You're such a good boy. Sheesh. Out of here. Okay. This should just drop right in there.
Nice. Cutter pin? Nut first, then
Yep.
pin.
Yep.
My gloves. The camera, the fucking...
Where's Zane at? He needs to like interrupt the shot.
The light's on the right side, so you can't hardly see nothing.
This will go down as the world's easiest differential drop. Okay, one goes there. And bigger pry bar. Sway bar time. You know, really, we don't need these where we're going. Unfortunately, our 4Runner has a couple of the skid plates bolts stripped out, so we're only gonna be able to get 3 in there. But basically, if yours wasn't stripped out, you'd have 2 of these that would go in on the back 2 holes right here, just to space the skid plate down to fit with a lowered diff. All right, moving on to the back. All right, it is a new day, and we're gonna go on to the back of the 4Runner to do the lift kit. And I would always suggest starting with WD-40. So all of these bolts that we have to take loose, more than likely are gonna be stuck. Sway bar end link, definitely wanna squirt that a little bit. Go ahead and get the other side as well while you're at it. It's just such a simple job. So first thing we're gonna do is get a pull jack. Yeah, this guy right here. support the weight. Well, for reasons unknown to science, our audio quit working in this clip and all subsequent clips in this video, so I'm gonna have to just narrate best I can. As you can see, we're trying to pull the shock absorber off, and you need to lift the axle up just a little bit so that the shock absorber is not at the end of its travel. I just used a rubber hammer and knocked it off of there. And I'll be honest, at this point, I realized I probably should have removed the wheels. I was just trying to take a little bit of a shortcut. And as you can see here, we are removing the rear sway bar end links, which were trashed. So we ended up having to order new ones. Luckily, these weren't rusted out and they just came right off, but you might not be so lucky. Once you get those off, you can just lower the axle down and drop the spring right out. Now, these new spacers are going to attach with bolts, and so you drop the bolts in from the top, and then you just put the nut on from underneath. So go ahead and tighten that up to 35 foot-pounds, and then go ahead and just put the spring right back in place. It does fit nice and tight. And now from here, you're just basically reassembling. You're going to try to get the spring back into its seat. Now, it is important to make sure that the spring is seated properly. There's a relief on the bottom of the spring seat that fits the coil, so make sure that that is correct. Now, one thing you do have to do here after installing the lift spacers is lift up on the suspension so that the rear sway bar end links will actually reach. Now, the last step of this job is going to be installing the rear shock extensions. There's basically a steel bushing that goes inside the shock that allows the bolt to fit nice and snug. And then you put the extension over top of the shock as you turn it 90 degrees, and that shock extension slides over top of the stud. And there you go. There's your finished shock extension installation. And that's pretty much it.